A great man once said, never on schedule, but always on time. I like to be ahead of time. I'm actually ahead of time. I'm actually in year 2048. I'm 60 years old. Let's get to it. I was gonna say about the reason why I'm coming in at a different hour because I had trouble with my passwords. I had to reset one password then the next, and like we were gonna have a. I'm just gonna dedicate a whole show to the password BS that they like to force on us. I really don't understand. Some of them have you can have the eye and look at your password you're putting in. Some of them you have to have a special character, a number, a lowercase number, a uppercase number, your mother's maiden name, and everything. It's just annoying. Salute to you, Texas. Salute to you, Son of the Sun 90. I see you out there. I'm gonna be talking about something real quick. Let's get to the situation now. Forget my day, whatever. It doesn't matter. Candace Owens, one of the worst human beings in life, in this world, devoted her time to another horrible human being in life. So, imposter met with a monster, or maybe maybe imposter is too good of a word for her, and maybe a monster is too good a word for Harvey Weinstein. But they sat down. He was in his jail. He was not in his cell, but he was in the classic communication center where they had the phone hooked up to the wall. See you, Texas. Candace Owens is one of the worst people ever. I don't care what you say. She's horrible. She's a terrible human being. But so Candace Owens gave this man shine. She gave this man speaking time. He's a monster. He's a convicted rapist. Candace is based. Candace is really out of her mind. That's what she is. I think that the interview was a complete sham, completely terrible for both parties, on both parties, a pox on both houses. They're horrible human beings for different reasons. Candace may not be a criminally terrible, but morally she's horrible. She has a corrupted soul. Bumba's going off the rails. I don't even know what he's talking about. How did wire get invented? Is that a joke? I don't even know where you're going, Bumba. I have no idea what you're talking about. But Candace Owens, she said she expects the LA case to be overturned. That's the 16-year case that has Weinstein on the hook still, even if this. Okay, I knew he was gonna say something crazy. I'm not even gonna repeat that. Texas, go back to your pastor basement. Wizards in the house. Salute to Wizard. Respect. But this interview, is horrible. It's just a terrible thing. She has a legion of people. She has 4 million plus subscribers. That's pretty significant. That's a significant amount of subscribers. Now I think they're all sipping the juice. They're all sipping the Flavor Aid. They're all wearing the black and white Nikes. Now those are references to Jonestown and Heaven's Gate cults. If you didn't notice, Texas got Saucy Santana on speed dial. Y'all are crazy in the chat room. Thank you for your enthusiasm, though. But yeah, I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I cringed and during the whole time, he's giving a little bit of detail to what he did with some of the people and talking about Gwyneth Paltrow and how her boyfriend at the time, Brad Pitt, called in and essentially was saying when she was on Howard Stern show that she was going to say, he was going to say that he was going to kill him, allegedly. That's what she said. Rest in rock and power to Jim Jones. No rock and power to Jim Jones. He was a complete and utter disgrace to humanity. He was a terrible human being as well. But there's just levels. He's on the level of Weinstein, but a little bit worse because he actually took people's lives. He was absolutely responsible for people's lives being taken. For them to be killed. Oh my God. Y'all are really going in now. But Yeah, this interview was very unnecessary. It was unnecessary, completely unnecessary. Did not have to go down. She went for clout. She went for views. She went for taps. She went for all that, and that's what she got in return. And that's the sad part about the internet. Like, yes, I admit I do things for taps and clicks. Like I have a title like Diddy is innocent because literally he's innocent. I have a title like Free Harvey Weinstein with a question mark, and I have to thank Son of the Sun 90 because I didn't have a question mark one time, but that question mark is very important. I'm not saying free, Harvey Weinstein. I'm saying free Harvey Weinstein. Should we? The question is out there. You give me the reason why he shouldn't be freed or should be freed. I don't think he should be freed. I think he's a monster and he's covering up all this, and he's trying to bully people into thinking that he didn't commit these crimes. He's a 4-time felon for rape. He was convicted on 4 counts of raping women. So there's no way. Even I can't see these retrials leading to overturned cases. Rottweiler says yes, the women consented in those nasty acts for roles and status. Free him and Diddy. Okay, Rottweiler is on some next level stuff. I'm not agreeing with him. Cassie, yes, Cassie is actually a cokehead and a whore. I mean, that's not even like my opinion or anything. That's facts. That's like reality. She typed it into her text and said, literally, I'm ready for any freak off. I mean, that's almost as close to the quote as you can get. She's ready for any freak off. I think that was the exact quote. So she's not a babe in the woods. She's not, oh, I didn't know he was in. No, you were in on it too. Mystical got certified hood classes. I don't know why that has. Oh, Mystical is worse than Harvey. It doesn't matter if he has certified hood classics. That matters not. Get on the floor. Get on the floor. The nigga right here. Get him up. Get him up. But no, I mean Mystical and Harvey Weinstein are 2 totally different people, 2 totally different cases. I wouldn't even compare Mystical to Weinstein. Weinstein is worse, but I think there's obviously not as much attention on Mystical because he wasn't a superpower producer in Hollywood. He was a major figure in the Hollywood scene. Harvey Weinstein. You really gotta watch yourself around Mrs. Yeah, he's getting cute. That was cute. But yeah, this Candace Owens, she just every time I look at her, I'm just like, I just want to just like shake her and say, you're not going, not literally shake her, but just figuratively shake her and say, what are you doing? You have such a great platform. You're not stupid. You just are misguided. You're just a terrible human being because of the words you say and the things you agree with. Like Ye, she agrees with Ye's stance on Palestine and Jews and stuff like that. Like that's just horrific. That's terrible. She's terrible for that. So I would just love to shake her and say you can change. You don't have to be this way. She's a Christian, yes. I'm not going to hold that against her because that's her faith, and that's apart from what she does as a quote unquote journalist or a reporter, quote unquote. It's a totally different situation, totally different scenario. She has in her mind the idea of being a person of influence. She obviously, I'm giving her credit. I said she has 4 million subscribers. I would love to have 4 million. If I had 4 million subscribers, y'all would know me from here to Bangkok and in London and Canada and Australia. My name would be ringing if I had 4 million subscribers. So I'm not, downplaying that. I'm saying she's a horrible human being because of the ideas she espouses, because she is so enmeshed in the ideas. Even her ads. She has an ad for like an abortion thing or something against abortion, something for giving birth to babies, and barring abortion. Did I understood? Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I appreciate it. Salute to Dot Focus. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you. Matter of fact, let me do my commercial for Dot Focus. If you're into first-person shooters, if you're into Pink Mist, and you'll find out what a Pink Mist is when you watch his games, or if you go into live, I watch his live games. Dot Focus, DOTFOCUS 1_ Dot Focus. If you go on to his Twitch account or to his YouTube account, make sure you can get his subscriptions up. You will see just how his expertise and his handling of weapons is against the ops. So definitely check him out and tell him that the silly guy Sky Saunders sent you. He's currently in the live chat, so I appreciate him. Tell Dot Focus, good job, great job, excellent job on his abilities, and just have fun. It's fun to watch, the gameplay. It's fun. But he's saying you will soon. Just say consistent. Yeah, I get as many shows as I can, and I try to do it like every day. But sometimes I can't do it every day. So I take a break and then I come back. But I haven't taken a full break, like a whole week's break, since last year, July. No, before last year. I think it was 2023. It was 2023. It wasn't 2024. It was 2023. I went to Florida. But that's different. But anyway, back to Candace Owens, back to Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein seemed, he was able to wear a suit or a suit jacket and a shirt, which was open. A few buttons were open, and he looks kind of scraggly still, but I don't think he can help it. No matter if they could have dressed him up as best they could, he's just like a very ugly soul and a literally ugly, physically ugly person. Okay, Bumba's going into his Jewish bag. I don't know where he's going. He's going into a Jewish universe. I don't know where he's going. Against the Jews. I'm for Jews. They should have the right to protect their Israeli land, and to defend themselves. But anyway, I don't think Candace Owens cares about the Jews. For one thing, I don't think she does. She doesn't care that Weinstein is a Jew. She was just going for clout, obviously. Oh my God. But I'm gonna say this one, the Juniverse. The Juniverse. That's funny. But I don't support Palestine or Israel. So who do you support? You got to be one or the other. It's either one or the other. You can't say, "Oh, I'm on the fence." You got to support one or the other. And it's really Palestine and Hamas. Hamas isn't just a terrorist organization. They are that, but they're mainly a governmental governmental set of ideas and principles rather than just a terrorist group. Southern Sun tells the truth. Jews make the world go round. It's facts, and that's not even like a slight or even a plus. It's just as true. They had the finances. They had the financial district. They have the clothing district. That's everybody got to wear clothes. What do you think the Jews do? They make the clothes. They have the entertainment industry. They have the physicians, the medicine. Christopher Perkins says, Skylar Saunders keeps doing real black political media news work daily. Your excellence, analysis, and brilliant articulation is exceptional. Well, thank you very much, Christopher Perkins, for that excellent and lovely assertion of my words. Okay, Robert Nasser said, who said it? Weinstein or the president of the United States? Ooh, I like this. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the You can do anything. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mr. Nasser. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. Mr. Nasser. Appreciate it. Of course, Candace loves the president of the United States. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's how she's a coward. She's a moral coward. And she has that special sauce kind of thing. Like she can articulate herself and put words out there in the atmosphere and make it seem like, oh wow, she's so articulate and shows, and she really expresses herself so well. But what she's expressing are some of the worst ideas ever. She advocates for like I said, Ye and his total disregard and disrespect for the Jewish community and the FBA community, the Foundation of Black Americans. Both of them. She's a candidate. She's one of the supporters and advocates for his nonsense. She's a true word warrior. Yeah, she is. She actually does express herself very well, and that's the thing. That's like the Jonestown and the Heaven's Gate kind of thing. That's the flavored juice, the flavored water and flavored drinks, but it's laced with poison. You don't really taste the poison. You taste, or it tastes kind of funny. It's like, oh, but at least I'm tasting more of the sweet, juice from this, from the flavored drink. Bumba, I would love to see a link to that. He's saying Ye just apologized to the Jews, though. I doubt that. I would love to see that. She's an excellent gaslighter. Yes, Christopher Perkins, exactly. She is a gaslighter. Let me make sure. I can't put you in. What is this? Can't do it. I'll come back to you. Check his Twitter. No. You send me his Twitter. You send me his link, the link to it. But yeah, so Candace is just completely off base. She's completely off. She, this interview, which I only saw in its entirety one time because I don't want to give her an extra view. He said he's not anti-Semitic. Well, yeah, I saw that video. He said that. He did say that, Bumba, but I don't believe him. Actions speak louder than words, as the cliche goes. But it's a cliche because it's true. Once you actually do something and make statements that correspond to your actions, that's what makes the most sense. That's what makes something that's credible. And I don't think he's credible when he says, oh, I'm sorry, I was just saying something against, I'm not really for Hitler and stuff like that. Like, it's nonsense. It's all nonsense. He's with Candace Owens though and Weinstein. Weinstein's like going back and forth, going and the interview was actually pretty well produced. That's the thing. She's well produced. She's got the whole lineup of questions. There's images and video available in inserts when he's speaking, and they go back and forth. So like I'm saying, I have to be objective. It's a well put together interview, but it's terrible because it's a monster and an imposter, a fraud. She's a fraud reporter. She's not real, but she comes off as such because she uses the right vocabulary and diction, and she has a posture and poise, and she's very well put together, and it makes it seem as though she's a credible source. However, she's just the opposite. She does not represent for anyone with a inkling of somebody that represents truth. And like I said, I can tear apart her faith in a few seconds, but I think that's false. That's very easy to do. Very it'll be done clumsily. It wouldn't make sense, but it's because of her faith that she does the things she does and says the things that she says. That's a fact. I can say that. I can definitely say that. But yeah. So I think that Weinstein is an ogre. He's an ugly, terrible person, and I mean that from his soul, not his physical appearance only. Because he's not the most attractive person in the world, but maybe that's the reason why he wanted to violate so many women. I'm not going to say allegedly. He's a convicted felon. He's a convicted felon. So he wanted to, so he, grabbed onto these women. He violated them sexually, orally, anally, and other vaginally and different things. That all has to, be reckoned for. That has to be, accounted for. He definitely showed himself to be a coward. And if he was a man, he would have not cheated on his wife, which was a moral issue. He said that. He admitted that. He said, I committed. He didn't say literally this. But he committed adultery, and he said, I would say sorry to my wife, but I know that's moral, but not a crime. He got that's what Rottweiler's going to a totally different place. Oprah loves Harvey. Does she really? If you gotta prove that. I love how you give me just blanket statements, but they have no backing to them. I need to have facts and figures. I never saw that anywhere about Oprah loving Harvey. I didn't hear it. I didn't see that. I didn't see it anywhere. Yeah, I don't think that's a fact. What you just said, or what Oprah, or what Bumba said, Ratwaller. Do you have facts on Cameron Diaz and salacious acts put on? Is that a waffle, by the way, of Texas? Oh, both. So what you said and what Bumba said are wrong. Okay, so why'd you say it? 3 more people when we have a party. Come on, we can have fun. Because I want to tear apart Candace Owens every chance I get. I cannot stand her. She's a horrific example of what a young lady should be. She's only a year older than me. Or what is it? Yes, it's a Texas shaped waffle. I was just wondering. Okay, but she's a year older than I. I think that's the proper way to say it. She's a year older than myself. She's married to a man named Farmer. He's a CEO, British man. He's a businessman. Yeah, and salute to her for that. But I can't salute to her for her comments, her ugliness. Like the chat helps with Ivan. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, just very, very disturbing. Very disturbing woman. Very misguided, misaligned, completely misaligned with facts and truth and reality and what's supposed to be. She has that, complete and utter, thinking that she's everything's okay. I can say that. That's fine, and I can go along with it, and it's okay. I said it. I'm a black woman, but I'm not really a black woman. I'm a mulatto in my own mind, or I don't know what she thinks she is. I don't even know if she's foundational Black American. I think she is actually foundational Black American, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is her mind. What matters is her words and and her actions. That's the truth, really. She represents something that is, very, disturbing and ugly. And that's why I think she saw in Weinstein. I think she saw that in him and in herself. She said, man, he's very abrasive. He's very opinionated. He's very, a hard charger and vows for his innocence. This kind of sounds like me. I'm always, trying to defend my own honor. I'm always trying to defend my words and that. I'm not a criminal, but I'm very immoral. I think she says that deep down in her soul. I think deep down she really finds herself to be very vicious, very awful, just very odious. And I think she just knows it. She doesn't want to admit it or show it. I mean, it's bad enough that she doesn't take seriously her role as a journalist or a influencer or something. I don't know. It's weird what kind of words we use nowadays. What a journalist is, what an influencer is, what a broadcaster is. I don't like to use the word podcaster because there's no more there's no iPods left. So it's an ironic kind of leftover word. It's kind of like a misnomer. How did she start out? I didn't do the research on how she started out. I just did the research on this interview and her late exploits with her being married and stuff like that. But that's a good question though. I will look into that. We'll have another show about that, how she started out. I think she started out under somebody. She got fired from someone. I can't remember. Somebody got to help me out in the chat. The chat. Help me out in the chat. You know, she got fired from some place. I think it was either Joe Rogan or someone else, somebody that's very, very influential. He has like, I think, tens of millions of subscribers, if not hundreds of millions. Yeah, she started out under somebody. She was like a information woman. She supplied data, I believe. I don't want to go off the rails and start saying what I think is true, but I know she got fired recently. But she's doing quite okay, I think, because she's got those 4 million subscribers. And that does mean something. I've been repeating it, I know, but it really means something when you have over at least 250,000 subscribers. You're definitely a factor. If you have 250,000 or more subscribers, and she has 4 million, so have to give her that much credit because it's a fact. But the reason why she has those 4 million subscribers is the fallacy of the ages. She's a fraud and an imposter. She's masquerading as a journalist and a person of influence. Gamer Girl, salute. Cassandra has definitely proved to be evil. Play Diddy and Cuddy. Okay. Thanks, Gamer Girl. I'm not really talking about Diddy right now, but I appreciate you, girl. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming in here. I do appreciate you. Don't think I don't appreciate you. I'm just not talking about Diddy right now. I'm talking about Harvey Weinstein. Are you familiar with the Harvey Weinstein case? He just got interviewed by Candace Owens on her platform. This is a major interview too, because the first interview in 7 to close to 8 years. They're saying 7 to 8, but they said he went in since 2020, but they're saying since 2018 it was that. So Gamer Girl says, oh, I just was replying to a comment I saw on the chat here. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's fine, Gamer Girl, do what you got to do. Appreciate you for being here. Rottweiler made a comment as I was just agreeing. I apologize. No, it's fine. No, don't apologize. It's fine. I just didn't know where you were going. I didn't know what you were saying. But that's, game on, Gamer Girl. Do what you got to do. Keep it going. Do what you got to do. So, I think, Candace Owens definitely needs to be stopped. I don't think she needs to be physically or any sort of physical violence needs to be taken against her. I think she thinks that she needs to be, her followers and subscribers need to be drained from all of her media accounts. She needs to be relegated to another level of notoriety and just lose her fame card. And just be, a regular citizen and, a filing, assistant or something like that. I don't know. She just doesn't need to be on such a large platform, getting, I think, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars from YouTube and other sources. That's what I think is true, because Weinstein is a monster. He's a rapist. He's a convicted felon. No question about that. It's not alleged, not, well, he could have been, I mean, there's the slightest possibility that he could be innocent based on his words, but I don't agree with him, whatever. I don't agree with Diddy, but he's an innocent man. I think he's a terrible human being as well. Rottweiler says, "Oh no, Son 90. No, I would not smash. I would not. I would no, no. If you want to ask the questions, yes or no, no, I would not smash. At least Candace isn't a politician. Well, just imagine if she does run 10, 20 years from now, which I think she will. Like is it Ihan Omar? I think Ihan Omar, aren't they part of the big three? Or what do they call them? I can't remember what they call them. It's Ihan Omar, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and there's another one. I can't remember, but they call them, there's three of them in the Democratic Party. The Squad. Thank you. The Squad. That's right. But who's the third person? I don't like to say AOC. I like to say her full name. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Who's the third person? There's Ihan Omar and another one. I can't remember the other one's name. Look it up real quick for me, please. If I have to go away from the show, it takes too long and it's weird. So, yeah. So Weinstein was just pleading his case and saying, like, it seemed like, oh yeah, well, maybe, no, there's no maybe. The way he showed himself made it seem as though, yeah, this guy's pretty. He's pretty keen. He's pretty on topic. He's pretty clear. You know, I'm not believing a word. I'm not believing a single word. It's not the amount of people that he did have a point, but he should have said the truth. I think I don't know if he was completely honest. Allegedly, Ayanna Presley. Thank you. That's right. All right, but he said it was a blanket statement when I think Seth Rogen said, is this Seth? Hold on. Seth Rogen, definitely. I was saying there's Joe Rogan and Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen said, "Oh, I believe all the women." And he was like, "Oh, it's a blanket statement." And I was, yes, it's true. You don't believe every single woman just because she's a woman or just because she said it. You believe them because they have, specific facts, maybe even DNA, even some kind of hard, definite evidence against him. And the reason why he's serving time at Rikers Island, which is they call at the beginning of the interview, it says the most dangerous prison in the United States. I'm like, this is just crazy. Bummer says Seth is a male Amy Schumer. Bummer Seth Rogen, yeah. Y'all going in and out. But I really don't understand. So with the Candace Owens issue and the Weinstein issue, I mean, this is all for clout. Everything was for clout. She sold her soul to the devil. I'm the devil, but you know what I mean. She sold her soul. All right, y'all are going back and forth in the chat, but yeah. So she sold her soul, to show something that didn't need to be shown. This interview is completely, unwarranted, unnecessary, and a waste of time. And I guess the prisoners, the taxpayers' money to make sure that he had a shirt and tie, or not a tie, but a shirt and jacket. He had the telephone up to, I guess, some kind of device to make it go through to the internet. But yeah, like I said, Candace Owens is that She's that Jonestown Guyana flavored drink and that Gatestown black and white sneaker, you know? Oh, they like some cool sneaks. Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to take some cyanide capsules. I can't remember if it's actually cyanide. I can't remember what it was. But we're going to take some poison and we're going to just lay there. And then, you know, they're going to come and get us and everything's going to be great. And okay, we'll see how that goes. Y'all are really going in tonight. I like it, though. I like it. 4 more people. We have a party. So just thinking about this, you know, interview almost made me want to vomit. I mean, it just only Candace Owens, only. Like, who else would even? They would ban, just completely say no. To hell with that. Throw up their hands. They wouldn't give him the light of day. The time of day, for that matter. That's the difference. That's the total difference. You know, you have your journalists, you have reporters, you have writers and people that are on the beat, and people who are anchors, and all these. Candace Owens, I think, has been all of that, but quotation marks have to be put in after every one of those titles. You know, she's not really a journalist. She's not really a reporter. She's not really anything to do with journalism. But she purports that. She shows it that this is true, which is not. So I think that she is going to be, you know, just pushed. Oh, she's going to be pushed out of the way. I think she's going to be pushed out of the way by facts. Isn't that thing? Is that weird? Little thing, the strange thing we used to call facts. Anybody remember those things? Those little things that correspond to reality. Anybody remember them? Anybody remember facts? Put one up. If you remember facts. I don't think she even mentioned one time that he was a convicted felon on 4 counts of rape. She did mention the 16-year case that is in Los Angeles in California that he still has on his head. Never mind the retrial. Even if this retrial goes through, he'll still have 16 years on his head, and they'll probably appeal to that too. You just can't. You can't trust everybody. You can't trust him. He talks. He's a producer. Of course, he's going to talk. You know, he even had time enough to say about the movies that we were in so many great movies. She was in so many great movies. I greenlit so many great movies. I'm not, you know, quoting. I'm just paraphrasing. She was in, you know, Shakespeare in Love and The Talented Mr. Ripley, and you know, all these different films. We just did so many films together and things like that. It was like he was looking back and saying, like, that's what they call the what is it called, the Trump distortion field or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It's something along that level. He has the Weinstein distortion field. He's only seeing, you know, the through rose-colored glasses, through Pollyanna, through Pollyanna is probably not the right word. But, you know, through rose-colored glasses, through, you know, the shades that are good, you know, he's seeing through that. But anybody goes to him today, what's the least they would do is slap him across the face. The least, and the best thing that is going on is what's happening right now. He's behind prison walls for a long time, probably to his death, which it should be. That's how it should be. If you had any kind of questions about the morality of Candace Owens, just, you know, you don't have to look at this interview. Just look at her clips. Just look at her other clips. Just not too many, though. Don't give her too many views or anything, but just look at her clips, just 2 or 3. You're like, this she's on she has how many subscribers? How does she get on I mean, anybody can get on these I was going to say airways, but anybody can be on these internet, what they call them, I can't remember the politician, he said a series of tubes. No, everybody can get on these series of tubes. But it takes some doing. Like I said, she has obviously a following because of her delivery. She has excellent delivery. I can't take that away from her. She has great delivery. She just is delivering the worst packages ever made. They're the worst messages to ever be uttered over the internet. From anywhere, from any corner of the internet. They're horrible. They're absolutely terrible. And she knows it. Yes, some naughty facts. She's well educated, well spoken. She dresses appropriately. I'm giving her. I'm not just gonna be subjective and she's the worst because she's the worst. I don't have any facts or figures. No, I give her credit where credit is due. She's very well educated. She's well spoken. She dresses well. She doesn't dress like a slut. She dresses like a person that should be on the camera for professional reasons, for reasons that children can respect. She has that about her. She has that sense about her. But she's a horrible human being at the same time. She's just terrible. She has no moral compass. If she ever had one, she forgot it. She lost it somewhere. But she's relatively young. She's not like in her 50s. She's not like in her 60s or something. She's only 35. Excuse me, she's not 35. No, she's older. She's younger. She's younger than I. She's not older than I. I had to correct that. She's younger than I. She was born in 1989. I was born in 1988. My dumbass. I think some people just choose to be the villain. She's one of them. Yes, that's a good point. Tommy Loren, who I was asking the question, you're answering me. Rottweiler, Tommy Loren, who's that? What does that refer to? I'm not sure who you're referring to right now. But Tommy Loren, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank with Tommy Loren. If you give me more information, I'm like, oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's a good point though. That could be the point of the night. Son to Son 90. I think some people just choose to be the villain. She's one of them. She's an agitator. She's what they used to call a muckraker, excuse me, in journalism. Go after whatever situation, that could gain you the most numbers. She's just another conservative. Okay. I'm sure she's Christian. She's got a family. She wears a cross around her neck. I'm pretty much sure I can picture her, But I don't like to give people the title conservative. I wouldn't call Candace Owens a conservative. I can call her rightist. She's on the right. But she has leftist kind of ideals too. So she can't be completely right. But she leans towards the right. But giving people the titles of conservative and liberal are misleading and error prone. You're prone to error when you say left wing or right wing. Excuse me, conservative or liberal. Because liberal means freedom, means free, and conservative means conserving that freedom or being free. So they don't deserve those titles. I just say left or right. And leftists usually have rightist views, and rightists usually have leftist views on certain issues. It just depends. But I'm very wary in declaring people to be whatever the conservative or liberal sector is. I just say left and right. And a pox on both houses because they're both corrupt, both the left and the right. They're horrible. So Weinstein, he tried to plead his case. He's like I said, he's seen sober. He's obviously literally sober. You can't drink in prison unless you have hooch or, toilet wine. Anybody know what toilet wine is? Toilet wine. Do I need to explain it, or is it pretty obvious? Do I need to explain it? Anybody need an explanation of toilet wine? Yeah, that's classic. Reminds me of the escapees from New Orleans prison. They had to move they asked the one of the, I guess you can call him a janitor or the property manager of the prison. I don't know what to call him. I don't know. What was it? Domestic or correctional facility engineer, whatever you want to call him. He said he was said to have turned off the water to the this is so much incompetence. To turn off the water to the toilet so that they could gain passage through where it was in the breakout. I don't know, but that was another story. But oh my goodness, Weinstein had, I think it lasted for about 20 minutes. It wasn't like it was like an extensive interview, but it was really, complete. I have to say it was complete. I think if you wanted to get something out of it, you got it. If it felt to you like you were hanging on, like what was that? What the hell was that? You got it. You got that. I mean, it just was completely unnecessary. It just didn't need to happen. It didn't need to go down. But she kept. She was like very serious. You have the LA case that's still on the book. It's still on, 16 years. She was very, I don't know if she was thorough. I wouldn't give her that much credit. She wasn't necessarily thorough, but she allowed him to talk. I have to give her that much credit too. She actually allowed him to speak. And that was the best thing, because that's what always goes through my mind. The only person I think of that spoke out, during while I was in prison was Tupac. It's the only person that comes to mind. I know there's other people that have. Other person maybe Maryland. Charles Manson. He just had he didn't have word salad so much as word mulch. Word, like, remember you ever think of those ground up tires with for different for swing sets and stuff like that? He didn't have word salads. He had mulch and ground up tires. The way he spoke, it was completely incomprehensible. It was just, his mind was so fried. But yes, but Tupac, he actually was eloquent. He was pretty much on point. He was pretty strong with his words. And he definitely showed himself to be a very articulate brother. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was just seeing if y'all were paying attention. But he is definitely one of the foremost speakers within hip hop. But that's the only person I remember. I can't think about too many other people that. One person, Colin Ferguson, he was on the train and he shot and killed like 2 or 3 people and wounded a few more. And then he represented himself in court and he said, "Do you remember who shot you?" And they're like, "Yes, you shot me." Like, the survivors. Like, he was literally saying Do you remember you shot me? I think he's serving consecutive life prison sentences now. If you don't think this world is amazing and wonderful, even with all the terrible things that go on in it, I mean, the root of good forever outweigh. Yo, Sabro, Sobro, social. Yo, it's Charles. Yeah, I keep on forgetting. It's Charles. The world is your. Yeah, that's what Tony told us. But you don't want to be Tony. Be Sosa. That was the best advice I ever heard in my life. I'm exaggerating, but I'm serious. No Malice of the Cliffs. He changed his name from. He was Malice, didn't know Malice. Now he's Malice again. He said, if you want to be, I can't remember the exact thing, but he said, be Sosa, not Tony. You know, that's the best way. If you go back to Scarface, the screen time is all, Tony Montana, Al Pacino. He gets most of the screen time. But you want to be Sosa. Can't believe I'm advocating to be a drug dealer, but I'm saying in a metaphorical way, be Sosa. He was clean. He had the best things. He had the cars. He had the girls. He had all that. He didn't have time for people. If people crossed him, he was hanging out of a helicopter. These bitches love Sosa. Yeah, see? Sosa had it all. Yes. And he well, am I spoiling it for y'all? Do you care if I spoil it? Anybody mind if I spoil it for you? In the rebroadcast land, I'm going to spoil it. He put the hit out on Tony, and they ran up in his house, and they blew him away. Right onto his pool. The world is yours. Did I spoil it? I didn't mean to spoil it. Uh-oh. Oh, no, you can't watch the movie now. No, I don't mind. People can spoil it for me, and then I watch the movie. I'm like, oh, that's how they did it. One of you people with the wrench unblock Charles Moran. Ghostface kicker. Ayo. Yeah, I'm on StreamYard. I don't know. If I get on YouTube, it might mess with the stream. I don't know. I only do that for sharing the video. But I'll look into it, Charles. Next time I go on YouTube, and I'll make sure you're unblocked. But yeah, so what were we talking? I'm talking about Sosa, but that just threw me off. The world is yours. But you still got my other account blocked. Yeah, unblock me. Yeah, I will get to you. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, son of Sonata. Yeah. Send $50 in. You don't have to send $50 in if you feel like it. That's a gratuity. That's it's not built into the bill. It's not. It's just a gratuity. It's just if you don't feel obligated to donate. I'm not pushing for donations. I have it up there, but I'm more so worried about subscriptions. I'm only 28 more away from 1,000 subscribers. Just 28 more people, and I'm good with 1,000 subscribers. Now I have to get my hours up. I have to get my watch hours up. Thank you. The world is a good place. Yeah. It's a burner account. Yeah, the world is a good place. I love how you put the A in there. It's ER, sir. Send Skylar a compromising photo he can use for blackmail. Then you're allowed it back. Well, I don't need that. No thanks. I don't need that. Are you going to see Tom Cruise movie? I might. I'm surprised they made another one. I thought the last one didn't do too well. Mission Impossible before this? What was this, Mission Impossible like 17? He's been doing this and he does his own stunts. Allegedly. That's how I checked. Tom Cruise does his own stunts. No, this is like Mission Impossible 6 or something like that. I can't remember. I haven't seen Sinners or Final Destination yet. And they had the gentleman, I think of his name. Maybe y'all can put him in the live chat. The black guy that was in Candyman and the other Final Destination movies. Very fine actor. He sadly passed away. Rock and power to him. I can't think of his name. Y'all can put it in the live chat if y'all want. But he was in this final selection. He was very thin. I think he died of cancer or something like that. He was very thin. Tony Todd, thank you. Salute to that man. Salute to Tony Todd for bringing black horror to excellence. If it weren't for Tony Todd, there would be no Jordan Peele. There'd be no Ryan Coogler movies. There'd be none of this, the new age black horror. Tony Todd ushered in that. He revived it. The 70s had it. The Blackula had Ganja and Hess. Just a few other names. Black horror. But he came out with Candyman. That was huge. That was big. That was big. Was he in Hatchet? I didn't know that. He was in the Night of the Living Dead remake from the 90s. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, he's a great man. He was great. When Candyman came out, I was like, damn, I didn't even know black people could do that. I didn't know they could be in scary movies and not, and be the main character and not be stupid. One of the first things I thought about was the reason why he was probably in Night of the Living Dead is because there was a smart black man in Night of the Living Dead in the original. You can watch it on any platform. I think it's in the public domain. But handy. No, Blank Man was a Wayans Brothers movie. His name Candyman, not no effing Todd, Tony Todd. Son to Son Naughty. Why are you going by Candyman is his name? Are you trying to say it 3 times so he can appear? But yeah, so salute to Tony Todd. I had to say his real name. You have to give him his real props because you can look up the word, his name. Find out how he died. I would say he died of cancer because he was very thin. Right, the black guy from Night of the Living Dead was smart. The white folks wanted to hold him up in the basement. He was like, "That's a death trap." Yeah, he was real smart. When he opened the door, should I let it out? Should I spoil it? I'm gonna spoil it. He opened the door and they shot him. They said, "Did you get him?" I can't remember the exact words, but they're like, "Yeah, we got him," or something like that. I was like, damn, I was like, I couldn't be mad at it because I understand why George Romero did that. He wanted to show how the black experience is like that. You're gonna get killed. You can be as smart as you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. By the end of it, you're gonna be killed by the whitey. Whitey's gonna put you down. You're not the problem. There's zombies all over the place. They're the problem. But you're black. You're gonna get shot. You're gonna get killed. Hey, yo, what's up, my nigga? Tampa guy, what's up, my guy? I was gangbanging and watching hood films today. How do you gangbang? What do you mean? What context are you talking about? And what hood films? Boys in the Hood, Juice, South Central, Menace to Society. Great George A. Romero social commentary. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, I just talk. I just let my mouth run. Skylar Booth the perk. Is a perk an upper or a downer? Because I'm on an upper right now. I've taken downers, but I'm on an upper. South Central. South Central was a great movie. It was a good movie. What is that dark-skinned nigga's name? I don't know. Y'all can put it in the chat. Is that his name? OG Bobby Johnson? That might be the fictional name, but I don't know. He had it on Smash. He was saying it. He was doing the truth. He was a definite candidate for an Oscar. He could have won an Oscar. I don't know if he still acts. Y'all know what that dark skinned man name is? He was in prison in South Central. He was in a few other movies. I can't think of his. I don't know his name offhand, but South Central was actually a good movie. Just like Menace. If you look at Menace and then you look at the Inkwell, you're like, what the hell? How did what's his name? Oh my God. Who played in Menace Society? Lorenz Tate. How did Lorenz Tate go from Menace to Society to the Inkwell? Like, it was like a reversal. That was crazy. O-Dog. Oh, remember O-Dog? Do you remember he played a Marine in Dead Presidents. He said life. After all I gave him to this country, life, man. Oh, F you. And he threw the chair at the judge. I was like, yo. That was crazy. He said life. After all I gave to this country, life. He played on Colors. Okay, yeah. What's his name? There was a South Central TV show with Lorenz. I didn't even know that. It was great, but not got canceled after one season. Wow. He played on Colors, The Wood, The Inkwell. Yeah. And a movie called Showgirl. Yeah, I've seen Showgirl. It's terrible. I was listening to gangster rap as well. I love the Showgirls movie. I don't like the Showgirls movie. It's awful. Glenn Plummer, yes, is the actor from South Central movie. Yes, Glenn Plummer. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Needed to know his name. He's a fine actor. He's great. He's excellent. But we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for coming in, everybody, and I appreciate you all. I should be back for tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's a Crash Out Friday. We're not going to be playing J. Cole. See ya.